Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the T&T Podcast. Here with your boy, Torres Finney, and my co-host, Tyler Layfield. What's up, Tyler?
Man, what's going on? The intro music kind of tripped me out a little bit. I didn't expect it to be different that time. So,
I know, right? It did.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
different. I like my little dun, 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 dun,
yeah,
I
yeah,
like that. I
yeah.
like that song. But hey, man, look, happy to be back. Obviously, I know we're not as active as we've been, but I've currently been in fight camp, everyone, and training has been going really, really good. I'm currently down here in Orlando, Florida, doing my training camp at Fusion XL. It's been a phenomenal training camp so far. So we're just keeping this thing rolling and trying my best to stay healthy and pushing the cardio, pushing the weight, and the weight's doing really good already. So our brother's feeling really good. I'm feeling like I'm ready to fight right now. So that's where a lot of the things been going on in my world. But I know, Tyler, before we get to where we're getting to, I know that have you been dealing with baseball a little bit at Howard or no? Or just primary
No.
soccer? I've been
Oh
seeing
no.
you.
What are you going to bring up? What are you going to
No,
bring up
I
here?
just been seeing you share a lot of those the stuff.
Oh no. My one of my best friends at work, Sergeant Merritt. He runs the baseball team at Howard Middle. So, and then
Okay.
shout out to Jake Sturzman. He's assistant coach for the high school team. So,
Okay.
middle school starting off good. High school's a little different, but they're trying to get it right, trying to get the program right because it's been a lot of fluctuation with coaches over the years, so not a lot of consistency.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. Also, another good thing to highlight hometown, Southwest is in the state
Yes,
championship. Um,
yes,
I saw that. Look, Macon's doing really good. You had
Saturday.
Northeast in the state championship. Now you got Southwest. And
Hmm.
in terms of like chances of actually winning, compared to like Northeast, obviously had a good
They're
shot. Had a
playing.
shot.
They're playing Tombs in this too, right? I'm pretty
Um,
sure. Let me look
I
that
think
up.
they already played Tombs. They played
Oh,
Tombs in the
okay, never mind.
semifinals.
Well, that's good that they got a little get back for Northeast.
Yeah, they
Losing
did.
to
Yeah,
them. Yeah,
yeah, they did. But
that's good. I'm
Southwest,
looking now.
they, as people used to say back in the day, was known for basketball. Like they were known. I think they were the last
It's
basketball big chip.
best academy. That's who they're going to face in the championship. They did just beat
Best,
Tunes.
best academy. That's the.
BEST. I really don't know a lot about this. This team right here. This
I
best
don't know
academy.
much about best either. That's interesting.
About to
They're
look up
24 and
Lincoln.
7.
Uh-huh.
Let me look at how their playoff run has went. Actually, uh,
It
they.
stands for best stands for business, engineering, science, tech. So
Mm,
interesting.
mm. That is interesting. Let's be honest. All right, we're gonna break over the mold. How many black guys you think is on that team?
Uh,
How many black guys you think is on
if
that
I
team?
mean, if I'm, hey, you're asking the question, but that's I see a Jaquan Wilson, all right,
Oh yeah, okay, he's black. Yes, for
so
sure.
there, Mario Lemons, I could see
Yeah.
that. Wendell Brown, there is a Curtis
Okay.
here,
Okay. Look,
Joshua,
Joshua.
Jacob,
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Nicholas.
They got a black
So
team. You're right.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
You're
So you can, yeah. There's
I
there's
was
there's
looking
going to
too
be a
much at the
fairly amount.
school. Maybe I was stereotyping, but I'm sitting here looking and I'm like, how
Uh,
many black guys is on that team?
There
Like,
was one team they shared that Southwest showed a picture of, like where they beat them. I was like, okay, that was probably pretty easy. Like it was a good bit of white guy. I can't tell you what team it probably was on their way to winning it. It was either Banks. Yeah, because they spanked Banks 79-41. So it was probably
gee.
Banks. Yeah,
Uh,
Banks County, and then they played Temple after that, and then they just beat Toombs, like you said. So
okay. So
now
that's
now on
huge
to
then.
the
That's huge.
Cineplex.
And they've dominated their playoff run. They've literally just
They've
run
done great.
through it. I mean, their toughest
Hmm.
game was freaking a triple overtime against Dublin. So like
Yeah.
they've run through a majority of this playoff run. But incredible feat for another Macon school. Macon's
Yeah,
doing some really good things out there, man.
for sure.
Um so in terms of doing good things, we've had somebody that's been doing good things for 22 years. And the good Lord, he went the opposite way for the first time in oh my so if anybody knows anything about pro wrestling, anybody knows that John Cena was heel when he first got into WWE. But He was only heel for like
That's
a
what I
few
thought I
months.
heard. I thought I remembered somebody saying that.
Yeah, because like the Doctor of Thugonomics, him rapping, doing the whole thing. He turned to the babyface. Babyface means good guy. So he turned to the babyface, and as everybody know, what have we known John Cena? Anybody that hasn't been living underneath a rock knows who John Cena, basically who he is. He's the good guy. He's what Hulk Hogan was to the 70s and 80s babies. He's in a way the kids Stone Cold.
Yes, yes.
He's always been the good guy. Never
Visiting the
ever
kids in the hospital, going,
Oscar.
yeah, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Dude, he's always been that guy. And bro, out of nowhere, dude, like I'm gonna tell you something. Yes, everybody knows pro wrestling is definitely choreographed, scripted. But bro, just the way that when The Rock had asked, I'm gonna help everybody catch up to what has happened and been going on in WWE. Elimination Chamber happened yesterday. Cena won the match. It was a great match. It came down to him and CM Punk. Cena won the match. Seth Rollins interfered with Punk.
Because I think you before you get going, I think you had updated us recently, and you said the only way because you were talking about Cena's going to be going out. I remember you had brought that up, and you
That's
had
right.
said the only way he
This
can do
is
it is by
retirement.
winning this Elimination Chamber.
To win
So
the
that's
title.
what kind of got us here. So he's retiring what month?
Yes.
What
One.
month is it?
Yes, this is his. He's been in a retirement tour for about 1 month. You're right. That's
Wow.
been the time. Yeah. So
WrestleMania will probably be his last hurrah.
yes.
And
Roughly,
that's when that is like what is that May, June?
oh no, WrestleMania is coming up in April. That's actually one
Oh
of my plans.
wow.
My plans is to
Wow.
go to WrestleMania. So it's coming up in April.
Oh wow. Hopefully you get to go.
I know that's the goal, man. That's really the goal. It's gonna be in Vegas as well. So but
You're home away from home.
so Cena wins. He does the whole ordeal. And man, I'm thinking, okay, they're about to do Cena versus Cody Rhodes going into WrestleMania. Everybody knows Cena's on the path right now to try to get the 17th world title, break the record, which is Ric Flair's record. Ric Flair has 16. He's currently tied Ric Flair. Wouldn't it be fitting the Cena try to get at WrestleMania? But as everybody knows, it's hard to do babyface versus babyface. So when The Rock comes out, everybody knows currently The Rock is a heel. He's the final boss. He's the corporate guy. And he's like, are you going to sell your soul, Cody Rhodes? And he asked him that over the past few weeks. And I'm thinking, all right, is Cody Rhodes about to do it? And then Cody Rhodes says, go F yourself. I'm not doing it. Him and Cena shake hands. Like, we're going to go against The Rock. And the look that Cena had on his face, I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't believe it. It was.
So wait, that's what they were talking about before he kicked Cody Rhodes in the balls?
Yes,
and all?
before he
Okay.
kicked Cody Rhodes. Yes, that was the plan. The plan was to see whether or not was John Cena is going to, is Cody Rhodes going to side with The Rock as he get ready to face off against Cena? And obviously Cody Rhodes said no, and it's just shocking to see Cena say yes, especially the rivalry The Rock and him has had. Cena has always been the good guy. That was just one of those things that just threw a brother off. I mean, that shocked the whole world. I mean, as anybody, wrestling fans all over, everybody around the world was shocked. I was shocked. Then to see Travis Scott coming there. Now, Travis Scott, that was funny because he, again, is choreographed, but he mistakenly slapped Cody Rhodes with like the actual like rings on his finger. And like when Cody Rhodes got up, his whole side of his face was swollen. And I'm like, dang it, Travis Scott, like, and he smacked him so hard, bro. But yeah, man, that was epic. That was one of those things. Where were you in the world at that moment? That was Cena turning heel, bro. That was one of those epic moments. I was sitting here like, what the freak did I just watch? So the kid in me jumped out. I got to be at WrestleMania. I said I have to be at John Cena's last ever WrestleMania, so I'm going to find my way there. My goal, obviously, winning this fight April 5th. I got to have my whole April stacked up. Win this fight April 5th. Head to UFC 313 or 314, whatever one it is, 314 in Miami the following week, and then the following week come back to Vegas and go to WrestleMania. So that's my plan in April, and no better way to kick it off than to go smash a guy in April. So that's my April plans, and I got to be at Cena's final WrestleMania.
Yeah, like I said, I hope you get it because God only knows how many other freaking people have that same, thought process of
Yeah.
going to see Cena for his last match. But I don't know. I did watch the video. I did see, where The Rock came in there. He did the whole throat slash thing, and then Cena changed his face, and then did all the hoopla that he ended up getting involved in. But um, interesting stuff. I'm not a big WWE guy like Torres is. I used to play the games, used to watch a little bit back when I was in middle school. So, it was, it was something different, I guess, to see that. So, um, you know, it'll be interesting to see where that goes from there. But I know here in a second, when Torres gets back, we're going to be talking a little bit about the boxing match. Here in a second, the big boxing match that happened last night. He's going to kind of discuss that. And then maybe touch on some UFC stuff, but that's really the plan here in the next couple minutes as he gets ready to come back here in just a minute and kind of discuss that. So, um, just looking at it, let's see what the latest UFC stuff has been recently. Oh, here he comes. There he is.
Sorry.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I forgot the DoorDash. It told me an hour, but looks like it came a little quicker than I expected. So
Not bad. Nothing bad at all. I was just talking about how when you got back, you probably talking about the boxing match last night and what you were telling me
yes.
before the show.
So yes, look, if anybody obviously also tuned in last night, yesterday was a very active day for a lot of sports. Obviously,
A lot of good college basketball too.
bro. Yes, we definitely have to pick up on that as well. I only saw the highlights and I did see the final shot, but back to boxing. Gervonta Davis, obviously everybody knows, undefeated, incredible boxer, power hitter, was going against Lamont Roach, and I'm watching the fight. I'm like, man, Roach is giving him some problems. Roach is looking good. He's countering a lot of things. Not a lot of guys walk down Gervonta Davis and willing to stand in the pocket with him. I was seeing a lot of that was going on in that fight. Then, like halfway through the fight, he gets hit with a combo. Gervonta Davis did, and he backs off, takes a knee, and then runs over to his corner, puts his head outside the ring, and like gets it wiped off, and then just start back boxing. And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Like, if anybody knows the rules of boxing, anytime you take a knee, that's counted for as a knockdown. Like, that's why if you spar or if anybody, I'm helping the casual world or anybody outside of fighting. Anytime you spar or do any type of live thing in a combat, the way to signal I don't want any more is by taking a knee. You'll hear people scream, just take a knee, take a knee. Now, MMA is a little different because you got grappling as well. But in sparring, you would hear take a knee, wave the hand, wave the white flag. This guy took a knee and ran over it, regardless for what the reason is. Whether the reason is, oh, I got it, my eye hurting, or you don't supposed to wear contacts when you're fighting live. Something dripping to your eyes, sweat. You need something sweat like wiped out. That's just a part of fighting. That's just a part of you have to overcome that. You can't take a time out in fighting. You can't take the only way you get a timeout is for an illegal shot. If the shot is illegal, that's different. But anything outside forces, you can't call a timeout. That is always signified as a knock against you, a negative against you. Plus, he got touched by somebody outside the ring. That's also illegal. Like, what are we, bro? Dude, I don't know. That to this, I don't know. That's one of those things that makes boxing to me, as I say, is just corrupt in a way. And then it was called the draw. See, people don't understand. That knockdown was called. Roach wins the fight. He wins that round. He wins
That's
the
what
fight.
I was going to ask is what would the outcome have been if they did actually call that?
That would, because one of the judges gave it to Gervonta, made it it was a 115, 113, and then two judges called it a straight draw. He gives him that round for that knockdown. It's straight up Roach. So, bro, they screwed him. But look, they're gonna have they're gonna have the sequel, make even more money. And most of the time, We say it on here all the time. I've said it for the longest. Whether it's in fighting, whether it's in team sports, it's hard to beat somebody really good twice,
Yeah.
especially when they've went full the distance with you, and
Yeah.
then you got to come back. Like, it's gonna be hard to beat Javante a second time.
The
But
element of surprise is no longer there. His eyes are open wide to what the situation is, and he'll be better prepared. I see what you mean by that.
yeah, so, good fight though. Good fight.
Oh, okay. So Kobe's already jumping ahead with the top 5 sports movies, and some of these are definitely going to be on there. Some of these are, yeah, a lot of these are actually going to be with me. So we're going to get to that here soon enough. Kobe out here jumping the gun. So the next thing we got here is Deebo to the Commanders. Deebo Samuel of the San Francisco 49ers was just traded to the Washington Commanders for a fifth-round pick. Um, it's hard to not really like the trade, especially for the Commanders. Low risk move, a fifth round pick that most of the time isn't going to end up becoming much of anything anyways. I mean, sometimes you hit some diamonds in the rough and that late in the draft, but they pick up Debo. He'll immediately be the number 2 with Terry McLaurin. You look at a team that was just, going through and playing with Zach Ertz being a big part of this, which, Zach Ertz in his own right, not a bad tight end. I remember I used to have him in fantasy for years on years. Like, I used to keep him every year because he was just that awesome. But, relying on him, not the greatest thing in the world. They had Zacchaeus, former Falcon wide receiver. He actually played decent for them this year. Diami Brown played pretty good. So to go through and upgrade at the wide receiver spot for Jaden Daniels, a great move, I think, for the Commanders. A great move here. You kind of agree with that, Torres?
Yes, this is a great move for the Commanders. I mean, like you said, Jane Daniel, after having an astonishing, probably one of the greatest rookie seasons we've seen in a very, very long time at the quarterback position, to give him a weapon like Deebo, who's very versatile. As we see, Deebo can come out the backfield. Deebo obviously is really good at the wide receiver spot. Yes, we probably have to cut some pounds, get back into better shape, recover a little bit. But
Seriously.
I definitely think with the weapons that the Commanders already got, I think that makes them a threat in the NFC. Yes, they're in the same division as the Eagles, but I always thought the Commanders needed to get better defensively, which I think they're going to attack a lot of during this draft.
They
But
ended up being actually decent this year.
and it
But
was.
if they
It was.
get the right pieces, it's going to obviously get just that much better.
Exactly. And I tell people, if anybody remember going back and watching the game, the NFC Championship, the Commanders weren't like, yes, the final score says it was worse than what it was, but the Commanders gave the Eagles some problems, especially in that first half. Like they competed, bro. They're there. They could compete, and they're definitely on that level. I'm excited to see how the Commanders come out a second year. They always say that sophomore season is where you really see for NFL players. So I'm excited to see how that sophomore season for Jay Daniels and for their whole squad is going to really look like. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, while we're on the topic of football, talk about the combine a little bit. I just told Torres before the show, I just saw a clip of Jared Wilson, center from Georgia, ran a 4.84 at 310 pounds. Crazy stat. Obviously, this time of year, we're always seeing crazy things. Who was the safety from South Carolina that was making waves? Did you see that?
Mm,
Had a
I didn't see
really
that.
high vertical, I'm gonna have to look him up. He's a safety though. I really didn't know much about the guy before he started going viral. I mean, it's funny, every year, we see these guys that just really pop off the TV at you, that just really put up great numbers. But I'll see if I can find it here. Let's see the
Well, I would
vertical.
definitely say another person that has been opening up some
Man,
eyes,
Nick Amenwari.
Nick
Nick
Ward.
Amenwari.
Okay.
Yes, 43-inch vertical. Let's see what else he did. Hang on, 43-inch vertical, 4.3840, which is just freaking crazy.
That's really good.
And then let's see if there was anything. 11 foot 6 inches broad jump, 20 reps on the bench. So go ahead and figure out what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
No, I was saying the position where a lot of people have like really showed out in terms of like skill position is Jalen Miro. They said Jalen Miro has been throwing the ball really well at the combine. So I've seen a few videos of things here and there.
I did see
Um,
that.
I mean, I definitely think he's got great arm talent. Don't get me wrong. He's got great arm talent.
I wish he would have ran the 40. That would have been cool to see
I
him.
would have loved to see that. I've only seen 3 quarterbacks on here that
Yeah,
ran
Brady
40.
Cook, Seth Hannigan, and Tyler Shaw.
Show, yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird. Why is that?
A lot of people opted out. They opted to just do it at pro day, so
Hmm.
didn't want to risk it. It
What's your
seems.
thoughts on Trevor Etienne? He ran a 4.4.
18, yeah, and he even stumbled when he did it.
He
So
did. Hmm.
I thought that was pretty good on his part. ETN ended up looking pretty good. There were some other guys that looked. I mean, it's funny. His old teammate beat him by a tenth of a second. Montreal Johnson, and then
Johnson.
the guy that led everybody from Virginia Tech. I'd never heard of this guy before. Bashal Tootin.
Tootin,
So
yeah, I've not
yeah,
heard of him either.
yeah. So that was kind of cool seeing him pop up. Tell me about what you said before the show. Let's go through that one more time because there was a Texas wide receiver talking trash that he was going to break the 40 record, right? But it ended up being another of his teammates that ended up doing even better than him.
Yes, Isaiah Bond. So as you see, Isaiah officially ran a 4.39, which, don't get me wrong, that's really fast. That's really, really fast. I think his first one he ran a 4.4, but still, regardless, he ran a 4.39 is his overall thing, bro. That's epic. That's elite. But the way you were talking, he came out and said, "I am going to break the record." He said, "I am going to break it. I don't be surprised. I might run a 4." He said like a 4.21 or like a 4.119 or something. And everybody was like, "Oh man, let's go! We're pumped, Isaiah. We're excited to see this, boy. We're excited to see this." And then he runs a 4.3. Now again, that's really fast.
Still good.
That's still really fast. That's really, really fast. But I understand like having expectations for yourself and doing like I'm gonna set goals for myself. But like let's be a little realistic sometimes. Like
Yeah.
unless somebody was lying to you in training when you were running your 40,
Yeah.
brother, come on, man. Like to just go out here and say, "I'm gonna break the record." I'm there's no doubt about it. I'm breaking the record. It was a little cringe. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little cringe.
Yeah, the other things I'm saying, yeah, and just to speak on Matthew Golden, who, to be honest with you, with me, like I just really liked him a lot. I thought he was amazing, especially in that playoff run. I thought he was awesome. Matthew Golden comes in and does he ends up having a 4.29. He ends up leading the receivers on the 40-yard dash. I'm sitting there looking, at some of these guys. Aaron Smith from Georgia, 4.36.
Mm-hmm.
So figured he would run a pretty good one. And then, yeah, like I mentioned, Jared Wilson's leading the offensive lineman so far. The next highest offensive lineman is a guy from Missouri. Tate Ratledge, another Georgia Bulldog, ran a 4.97. I
That's
did not
good.
picture him doing that
Wow.
great. That's crazy. For what he looks like and all the injuries he's had, it's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. That's crazy.
Yeah, looking at all these linemen. What about the tight ends?
Yeah, let's see the
CJ Dipper. He ran up from Alabama, ran a
Yeah.
4.6. Okay.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Yeah. I'm not over the moon about this tight end class outside of Warren, and there might be a couple of, but it doesn't look like Warren ran the 40. It looks like he's going to probably do it at his pro day too, at Penn State. But
Also,
yeah,
Tyron Ingram Dawkins. He ran a 4.8 defense. He was the third best lineman, defensive lineman,
yeah, he sure
defensive
did.
tackle.
4.86, not bad.
So that's really good.
I liked him. I liked him a lot. I think he's going to end up being pretty good. But yeah, so pretty good stuff. We're going to have to see, how the pro days play out, and then we can maybe get on here and do a mock draft of sorts
That's right.
for everybody.
Mhm.
Let's see. I'm looking at the bench stuff. Sometimes I like to look at the bench reps. Who's leading everybody in
Oh
bench?
yeah, let me look at
Right
that.
now it's C.J. Dupree, like you said, from Alabama. He's got 32, but they haven't gotten to the offensive lineman yet.
I ain't that
So
old. Yeah, okay.
offensive lineman might end up running that one here soon.
Usually the
So
offensive linemen usually run that whole thing.
yeah, got to be able to punch. That's for
But
sure.
32 is really good for the tight end. That's really
For a
good,
tight
man.
end, yeah, not bad at all. All right, so Kobe kind of got ahead of the curve here, but this is just an interesting. I was like, let's see what we can do here as far as bringing up what our top 5 sports movies are. We'll start at 5. Each of us will give our top, our number 5. Then we'll go to 4, 3, 2, 1, and give your reasoning behind it. Tell us why you think that is in your top 5, why that should be, and then maybe at the end we could do some honorable mentions, as well. Talk about some that just didn't make the cut, but that are still good sports movies in their own right. So you want to kick this off for me?
I'm gonna let you kick it off. Let me tell you something before I go as well.
Because I know you don't like. Here's where Torres comes on and says, I'm not real huge on sports movies because they're not very. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad you got it already out before I did. Thank you. I am not huge on sports movies.
Because it's not realistic.
They are so cliche.
What do you think they're gonna do, man? Dude, they're gonna do
the game-winning shot at the buzzer.
Yeah,
game-winning touchdown.
But
yes, no, there's one movie that didn't do it. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we're different. Oh,
yeah. Right.
Bro, I hate the cliche.
I know, but it sells. It makes the money, man. It makes the money. So I'm going to start off, and Kobe kind of brought this one up already. I'll start off with my number 5, and I'll bring it up as number 5 because there are a lot of these movies I've liked since I was a kid. I watched them a lot. Had them on DVD or watched them on TV whenever they come on. But I'll go number 5. I'll start things off with Sandlot. At one point in time, Torres, I was a big baseball guy. I was all into baseball. Even though I sucked at it, I enjoyed baseball. Sandlot was one of my favorite movies. It's just such a good summer movie. I feel like as a kid watching that in the summer, it just goes hand in hand with watching it. I feel like if we had Kiefer Walker on here, he'd probably be right up there with us, talking about Sandlot in the top 5. It's just a good one, man. A good coming of age film. Guy moves into Newtown, makes the friends. They get into shenanigans, but they're playing baseball. I just love it, and there's other little plot twists and things of that nature, but just a good, lighthearted film. About a good old American pastime, baseball. And by no means am I a big baseball guy. We very rarely talk about baseball on this show just because, man, it's so many freaking games and there's so much to keep up with, But I'll tune in every now and then to some Braves games and stuff like that. But Sandlot was it was just awesome, very nostalgic for me. Just loved watching it, man. And it's I feel like it's definitely going to hold up throughout time. I feel like kids are going to be watching that movie for years and years to come. So Sandlot's my number 5. What about you? What's your number 5?
Definitely Sandlot is for sure up there. Mine, I'm gonna go number 5. I'm gonna go with Rudy. Rudy is one of those movies where it's funny. People used to compare me-ish to a Rudy type guy sometimes when I was playing football.
Rudy. You're 5 foot and under nothing, 100 and nothing. No, you were the 5 foot nothing. Maybe they got you on that. Not the 100 and nothing.
Yeah, not the 100 for sure. Yeah. But dude,
Rudy wasn't
I love the Rudy movie. Obviously the overcoming adversity, the underdog story, eventually getting a chance to play for Notre Dame, finally stepping in the game. When he stepped in, made 2 sacks back to back, and based off of a true story. So that's one of those things that, is a heartfelt story. I can get behind something like that. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Because it's like, okay, we put the guy in the game. He makes a few plays. That's epic because there's something like that. And plus, when you think about guys in sports, how many times, especially I know from my own experiences, we'll put certain guys in. I'll never forget when Jerry Stevens, this was middle school now. Even though we blowing him out, we put Jerry in the game. He scored a touchdown. We put Sherrod in the game. I think he scored a touchdown. Like pin guys that would never ever obviously continue to play football, but to see him go in and like just have an epic moment, that's awesome. Those type of moments.
Remember that.
Yes, they're gonna forever remember that. Heck, I remember Connor. You remember Connor Sherrick from Jones? Sherrick. Dang it, I can't think of his last name, but he used to play on a football team, and I think they let him get in one game.
Oh, all right, not the. Right,
he was a special. He was in a special.
Yes,
ed.
Okay,
yes,
all right, yeah. But he got a touchdown.
No, he didn't score a touchdown. No. They just let him get in the game at like wide receiver. He played one, like he just played one play. I think he tried to block the guy, but
tall guy.
But it was tall guy. He can remember everything. dude. I
Uh-huh.
had went to the last time I was at the Jones County football game. You know, he came up to me and I was like, "What's up?" I didn't recognize him at first. I said, "Who is this?" He's like, "What's up, Torres?" I said, "Oh wait a minute, you're Connor." I said, "Oh, what's going on, Connor?"
Uh-huh.
And I instantly, first thing I said, "You still remember my birthday?" Oh, easy, October 24th, 1998. I was
Yeah,
like, "What?"
yeah.
He could remember everybody's
Easy.
birthday.
I like that. Oh, this one's easy. Yeah.
He still remembers everybody's birthday. It's actually pretty epic. But yeah, like having those
It's
type of moments,
crazy.
like that's what Rudy definitely reminded me of.
Yeah, I love how you brought up Rudy's definitely in my top five here. I'll let you know where it lands on mine, but it's funny, Torres. You talk about all these things work out perfect and everything, and yes, you're right. Rudy, he did overcome adversity in real life. He did make it to Notre Dame, and they did put him in, and he didn't have that sack against Georgia Tech. But a lot of that stuff apparently was really embellished. Have you ever heard of Joe Montana talking about the whole Rudy story? Did you ever hear about that?
I never heard it from Joe Montana's standpoint. I
Yeah,
did.
dude. Apparently, that whole movie is just it's extremely just exaggerated like on a lot of things, and
Wow.
a lot of the guys did not like him. Like a lot of the guys, like they just he was like too much of a try hard. Like
Oh yeah.
they didn't care for him. Yeah, yeah. Like in a he actually ended up pushing for that movie to get made. I think he ended up getting a documentary too, but apparently it was a big like money grab for him. And it was, it's a great movie. It's way up there in mine. Like that's one I like if that's on TV, I'll throw it on, man. I just like it. I like the soundtrack that man, there's some of these soundtracks like these songs that you'll hear and
Mhm.
that one that plays in the background of Rudy, man, that gets me just going every time like the
That's a good
doo
one.
doo
You're right.
doo doo
Yeah,
doo
that's a good
doo
one.
doo. Yeah, it was always good and the acting in it was really good. I like the main actor. I like the black guy that's the the groundskeeper.
Yeah, the
Him
guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The clap. Yeah.
clapping, that it's always a good one, But yeah, you're right. The underdog stuff's always awesome. So I'm always in on Rudy whenever Rudy comes on. For me, number four, mm, number four, and I do like. There's a lot of good ones here. I kind of did one of my kids' ones already. There's some I just do for nostalgia, but I've talked about this one on this show before, but and then Kobe brought it up on his, and I know you're not huge on, especially now that you're a professional MMA fighter, but Warrior's number four, man. Warrior man gets me every time, man. I'll tear up every time in that movie. Tom Hardy in there, Nick Nolte. I can't remember the guy that plays the science teacher off the top of my head. That's the brother. But the whole just premise, and I know it's too good to be true that they're brothers and they end up meeting in the championship fight, all that kind of stuff. But it's the it's cool seeing both backgrounds and how they came up, and that the acting's just really good in it. And I know it's exaggerated. Tommy coming in and knocking somebody out within 10 seconds and then just leaving the ring, that kind of thing. But it is just an amazing movie, and just the father and his relationship with the sons, and
That's
him
good.
relapsing with the alcohol abuse and everything. That one, dude, that tears me up every time when he relapses. Like when he ends up, falls back into the drinking. Golly,
Mm,
that gets me every freaking time. Highly recommend. Now, have you've watched it before, right?
no, I'm gonna tell you
You
why. I
you
have
got
been.
to you
I
need
have
to
seen
eventually
enough
watch it. You
scenes.
need
I've seen enough scenes of Warrior
come,
to
bro.
where
Give
I
it
think I've already
one
watched it.
shot. Give it one full shot, dude.
When
All
everybody
these
wants
movie
to show me
reviews
the
you do,
scene,
Torres will be in there posting about doggone Captain America with Harrison
yes, you're
Ford.
right.
Yeah, do it for Warrior. Do it for Warrior, man.
Dude,
Come
let me tell
on.
you something. I watched the training scene of Warrior when he walked into the ring when they was talking about like the guy was in there
Mad
his sparring
Dog. When
partners.
Mad Dog needs a spark partner.
Yeah, he needs a
But he's
sparring
not
partner.
coming. Who wants to take it up? I'll take it up. Yeah, and then
One,
yeah.
one in MMA.
All right, I'm not here
Dude,
to hear you
it
pick
just
apart this
easy,
movie
dude.
now.
It easy. One,
Don't you pick
he's wearing
apart
the
my.
small gloves. You don't wear the actual fight gloves when you're
Oh
training. You don't
God.
actually hit nobody. Dude, they were hitting each other as hard as they could with the small
Oh yeah,
gloves.
they
What
were.
is going
They were.
on? Dude.
I'm not here to say it's completely realistic, but it sells. You just talked about Rudy and how awesome that was. So forgive me for bringing up bringing up a fighting movie that doesn't follow everything to a T.
Yes, but like even with Rudy, like it happened that he had
Yeah,
to
it did.
become
It
adversity
is
to play.
loosely based on a true story. Yes, you're correct. It
Yes,
is
like
loosely based on a true story.
loosely based. I mean,
It
one of my
is.
one of my other things go here are gonna be on a loosely based true story, supposedly. So
But you got to watch this movie. At some point, you need to give it. And I know that part probably aggravates you. Give it a shot, man. Not even just for the technicalities, not even just because it's fighting, but for the storyline. Give it a chance for the storyline,
the
man.
storyline.
I'm telling you, there's just so many moving parts in it. You know, the brother that's about to lose his house. He's a science teacher that just got fired because he's having to pay bills by boxing or by fighting at strip clubs, and then you got the other brother who went AWOL on his unit overseas, in the
Wow.
military. Yeah, I mean it's just a lot. Like I'm sitting there telling you all this information. Like it's cool, and you would probably get along with Tom Hardy's character because big wrestling guy. He was chasing who was the guy he was chasing? There's a record. You probably heard about it. There's an old like Greek or like legend that won like a bunch of wrestling matches. Tom Hardy, what's his character? Tommy chasing wrestling record. Let's see what it is. I just want to see what you may have heard of it. I don't know. It's man, I don't even know. I have to look this up. But it's like some old Greek Olympic, like from like mythical times or whatever, Hermogenes or something like that is what it's
Mm.
called. But he was chasing some record. But yeah, that's my number four, man. You need to give it a chance at some point. How many people have told you to watch that movie?
A bunch. I've heard it from
You
I've
need
heard it
to
from
give it
guys
a
that fight,
chance.
and I'm like, dude, it's hard for me to watch football movies. Like I just
I love
sports.
football
I
movies though.
struggle,
I
man.
love football movies.
I struggle. I struggle, and I try, but I sit there and I'm like, God, who can watch
And
this?
I'm one of them coming up. There's always a scene that gets me every time. Every time. So I'll go into it here in a minute. But what's your number four?
So my number four, only because look, it's a good movie. Um, it's just up there, but I'm gonna go with Remember the Titans. Okay.
Man, that's
Um,
too low.
yeah, I know people are gonna definitely not probably not gonna like my next.
Logan Gordon. Call in Logan Gordon real quick.
I
Paging Logan Gordon.
I probably should. Logan loves Remember the Titans. He loves
That's
that movie.
yeah, easily.
He's like
You
he
can always win some respect from Logan by quoting some Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans. Logan loves that movie, but yes, if Remember the Titans is a good movie, yes, it is. Is it definitely got some cliche in it that makes me cringe and I don't like? Yes, but
Correct.
the storyline, so many quotable things in that movie, so many things that are still used till today from that movie in terms of memes. That movie is definitely very
Favorite
rememberable.
quote.
Well, I like the sunshine stuff, so that's
Sunshine. Which one? Which one are you talking about? Sunshine.
or when they sing it in the locker room, ain't no mountain high enough.
Some
That's one
fruitcake. Yeah,
oh man,
man, that's a
I haven't seen it in a
fruitcake.
minute now. It's been a minute since I've
It's
seen
been
it.
a minute since I've seen it too.
It's been a minute since.
Attitude reflects leadership. Always love that. Julius. I've been
Yeah.
watching The Wire now, and the one of the main guys in The Wire, Avon Barksdale. He's the the bad guy. It's played by the
Mhm.
same guy that plays Julius. So every time I see him, I think of Julius every time.
Mhm.
There's that one. There's the fake 23 blast with the backside George reverse. There's the what else is it? You blitz all night. You make sure they remember the night they played the Titans. Like all that. Like that
Dude.
one's just a very, very good one.
So
I'm
yeah,
not giving
you're
anything
right.
to that monkey. That tosses him the banana at the end. I love it.
Yeah, they had some really good stuff in there. And a lot of this stuff comes from the point of me watching it when I was in school, in high school.
Oh,
So
of course.
that's
I used to have
that's
that thing
who used to play
DVD.
it all the time in class.
Who used to play it all the time in class? Who, like, talking about what class or what
Yes, I
individual?
could have sworn there was one teacher that played that movie a good bit.
In high school,
Probably
I don't even know.
every sports coach.
Yeah, I've played it in my class before. Like when I was early in the teaching days, Black History Month came around, so I was like, "Hey, an excuse for remember the Titans." I was
Don't
like,
remember Titans, yeah.
coming together. Let's talk about let's bring everybody together. I was like, all right,
That's funny.
let's talk about leadership. Leadership
Yeah,
qualities. I don't know, like growth mindset. I can make any lesson in the growth mindset if I
you
want to,
can.
man.
You can.
But yeah, I love that one. That's up there. I watched that movie so many times, man. That I messed up that DVD. That DVD got messed
Wow.
up for me. Why? Yeah, I love that. That was like every trip we had. movie wise. Like that was one that I was always watching. So that one's coming up for me too. Um, Kobe brought this one up, and I really do like it. I've seen it. This is another one. Like I find myself putting this one on. It comes on AMC quite a bit, but Moneyball.
Oh,
And that's like the front office side that I really like. Some people might look to Draft Day. Draft Day was good.
draft
It's
day.
not. Yeah, it's not my favorite in the world. There's still, to me, it felt a little bit more cheesier. Moneyball felt so legit. Like it just feels like awesome. It's great acting. Brad Pitt, Jonah Hill. They did a great job. In their front office roles. I just like kind of seeing the ins and outs of the front office, the trades. Like I don't know, like growing up, man, I was never the greatest athlete, but I always, I feel like I understood the game decent enough to either coach or maybe one day I think for a while I wanted to be a GM of a baseball team. That's what
Hey,
my dream job was.
there's a reason why your fantasy football team does well.
Yeah, hey, yeah, I don't know, like, yeah, but I just love, and then growing up, playing Madden and NCAA, building dynasties, doing the franchise mode and Madden and having to figure out the salary caps and negotiating contracts, free agents, draft picks, all that kind of stuff. I love, but being able to see, and I've read like a book about this. It's called Mathletics or something like that. It's about like
Well,
the numbers, like being able to break down the numbers behind sports, like and that's really what this movie hinges on. They were like pioneers of their time. Like this Oakland Athletics front office. They started just looking at value over replacement player. They started looking at, we don't have to go out and get one big multi-million dollar star to win games. We can get a bunch of people that are good at just getting on base, and that will lead to success. And sure enough, it really did. That's an underdog story. It's just in a different manner. It's not a kid that just came out of nothing and, ended up making a professional team or doing something good in college. It's an underdog of franchises. Oakland, they were down for a while and then all of a sudden they shot up. And there's some really good things in it. I remember Kiefer would always quote it. He said, "How can you not be romantic about baseball?" To me, I always just requote on my how can you not be romantic about sports? I don't
right.
know, man. Sometimes I sit here and I'll watch I'll be watching a game or I'll watch a movie and I start feeling myself getting emotional. In it. Like
You're right.
the thrill of victory and the pain of defeat. All that kind of stuff and how you have to have both of them. But sports is just awesome. Like, they
Sports
really are. They're
is
just
awesome.
awesome. They are.
Dude, that because it makes you like whenever you come up short in something and then you see the other side of it, um, you see the other side of winning, then you see the other side of
Yeah.
losing. Being on both sides of those type of things, obviously it makes you want that win that much more.
Yeah.
Because to win, you obviously got to do more than obviously what the loser had to do. So you have to like go the extra mile or go the extra inch or to go the extra yard. And that's just the beauty of sports. And I
Yeah.
that's you're right. You see that all the time. Like when you see
Yeah.
guys competing in football, basketball, fighting, etc., whatever, just to see the heart, the grind. You're like, man, like, oh man, I had to do this much to overcome, and it's just fun to watch. It's fun to
Yeah.
watch.
It's fun experiencing it. I know you're an experiencing it, on a daily basis, doing what you do professionally, and it's fun, seeing it as a coach, watching these
Mhm.
kids. Like today, I coached a game for my club team, and we had a chance. We ended up drawing. It ended up being a tie, but we had a chance late in the game at a PK. Threw our best girl up there for it, and she ended up hitting the crossbar and not making it. She just tore herself up, and it's just just immediately tears, crying, all that kind of stuff. And then after the game, just beating herself up, and it's and it's not fun seeing that part, but it's cool seeing that transformation over time. Being able to go to them, talk about, hey, I've gone through that before myself. You got to be able to shake it off, move on to the next one. She's talking about she don't want to take it again. No, this is going to make you better. I thought, Michael Jordan,
Oh
he missed more game
yeah.
winning shots than he made. You got to be able to rise to the occasion and, don't shy away from it. You're
Don't shy
built for
away
it.
from it. That I
You're
like that.
built
That's
for
good,
it.
Tyler. You
You're
have to
built
tell.
for it,
That's
man.
that's really good, bro. Because you have to tell those people in those moments when they come up short. That is good for you. That's the lowest that it can possibly go. That's the
Yeah.
lowest. You didn't make the shot. All right. Now we're going to be even more confident next time because we already felt the lowest. We know how it feels already. So now
Hmm.
you should be even more confident the next time. In theory, you probably, yes, some people have confidence from making it, but if people that make it the first time or do really good the first time, they have confidence of, sometimes their confidence might shy a little bit because they don't want to take that chance of being the
Yes.
bad guy or
Being
losing
hurt.
or being
Yeah, or
hurt.
being the reason we lost.
We reason you
Stuff,
lost. Yeah,
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 stuff like that. Yeah,
that's
that's
right.
what they were
So
doing today. Or
you
that
build
you
that confidence
tied.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you're
Mm-hmm.
fine. Like, yeah, build that confidence up. Like, yeah, be
Yeah.
even more confident in it. I like that. No, I like that.
Mm-hmm. All right, you're number three.
Now, my number three. Now I like this movie overall. You could say a few cheesy things here and there, but in all honesty, I felt like it's about as close as a good football movie personally than any of them. The
Mm.
Blind Side. Um,
Ah, okay. So that ain't on my list. All right.
I thought
First
The
one we
Blind
disagree
Side
on.
with Michael Orr was
It's good.
really, really good. It was done really well from the recruiting to the high school. Obviously, the story of what he had to go through
Mm-hmm.
coming up, being basically essentially adopted into that family. Sandra Bullock played her part freaking incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
Just the build up until high and all the way till he got drafted. Even the car wreck with him and the kid.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good movie.
SJ.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know, dude. It was a good movie.
yeah.
That's one of those movies that I really, really liked. I did. I really, really liked. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another one that people talk about as far as it wasn't always based solely on the actual true story. Apparently, there was some backlash that came out about that and even Michael Orr himself. Apparently, he came out and said that it wasn't all true, that there were some false things there. So that is something to keep in mind on some of these movies. They are based on a true story, but they're like I said earlier, loosely based on a true story. So some of that part, some that probably the structure of it was true. Him coming up from where he was, getting to where he ended up getting. The ups and the downs, but there's probably a little bit of stuff added in here and there that isn't necessarily on par with what actually happened in real life. So it's funny. Yeah, I'll mention it here when he comes back too. But yeah, it's funny that you brought that one up because Moneyball and Blindside were both written. They're both based off of not only the real stories, but based off of books by the author Michael Lewis.
oh wow,
He made
really?
he made yeah yeah. So yeah, he's written a lot of books that have turned into movies. The Big Short. I don't know if you've ever seen that. But he's had a lot of big ones. So let's see. Yeah, The Big Short, Blindside. Let's see. There's a lot of them on here that he's done, but pretty cool stuff. I thought Moneyball was. I thought he was. I thought he did Moneyball. Hang on, let me make sure. But yeah, I was talking about how it's Blindside. It's another one that catches crap for not being totally true. Apparently, there was, even Michael Orr came back
Yeah.
later on in life and talked about how it wasn't all exactly, like that in real life. But yeah, it's interesting you brought that up. I remember my family, they went and saw that while we went to the movie theaters when it came out, and I didn't go see that. I actually went and watched Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief, because that was like my favorite books. And
Uh
I watched that with my cousin while they went and watched that, and they talked about how great it was. So, of course, I ended up going and watching it, later on. I really did like it. It was good. But that's an interesting one. So, we've already talked about my last two. Two is going to be Rudy for me, but we've already kind of talked about that. So, like I said, the soundtrack, the acting, the story, everything. And I know it's loosely based as well on a true story, but it's just always up there for me. It's always one that I love popping on the TV from time to time. So, who's your two, or what's your two?
who was your two?
Rudy.
Rudy's. Oh, yeah, that's right. You claim Rudy.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
my
Because
number
you've already
two.
talked about it.
My number two. I gotta go one more time. This is my last time. So freaking people aggravate me. But my number two is Rocky Four. All right.
Okay.
I love Rocky against the Russian.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorites. And I'm about to come back. What's your thoughts on the Rocky Four? I'll come right back.
Rocky Four. I've got to rewatch it again. It's been a while. I wasn't as big into the Rockies as a lot of people were, growing up. But um, it's one of those movies I have seen. I need to go back and rewatch it again. Um, but the Rocky movies, I have them all, recorded. So that's something I'm going to have to probably do. I'm going to probably do that during the summer. But it was a good movie. It was a good movie, overcoming adversity, overcoming odds. The way it played out. That's probably the best one out of all the Rockies. Apollo getting killed by the Russian, and then Rocky going and getting his revenge or avenging um, his friend. It was really good. But the thing I love most about Rocky is that freaking music, man.
Oh
I
yeah,
love
yeah, yeah.
the what's the one, the not the Gonna Fly Now, but it's the
Eye of the
golly.
Tiger.
That one's good too, but I think
That's a really good one. That's my favorite one.
going the distance.
Oh,
It's
going the
that,
distance.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a great one. That's a
Yes,
better
yes, like
one.
that one I'll listen to before games and stuff. Like that one gets me amped.
You get
Yeah,
you amped up. Yeah, you get you amped up. Freaking
yeah.
so Rocky Four for me, especially with him going against the Russian. You see him beat the Russian, beats his best friend Apollo Creed, kills him, in an exhibition.
Hmm.
And then the famous quote, if he dies, he
He
dies.
dies.
Like, and then you got Rocky, like, he's too strong for you. He's too big, You're
Yeah,
gonna get yourself killed. He's already
yeah.
dealing. You already see him dealing with signs of I can't think of it.
Dragov or what? Isn't that his name or something like
No,
that?
yeah,
Is that
Drago. Yeah, Drago.
Drago? That's it. Drago.
Drago. Yeah,
Drago.
Drago.
Something
Drago.
yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
yeah.
So the Russian going in there, you see Rocky going through the
Freaking pumping
snow.
steroids.
Yeah, he's on steroids. The training, him knocking
He's
out
training like he's training in like the woods and crap. Homeboy,
Yeah.
Drago's in a lab, getting pumped full of steroids and going on equipment and stuff. Yeah,
It was one of those.
I gotta rewatch it soon. I gotta rewatch those movies.
And then like I enjoyed the Creed movies. Like
Yeah, they're
uh,
good too.
the Creed 3, man. Creed 3 was really good to me.
Is that the one where he goes against Drago's
No,
son
that's
or
Creed
whatever?
2. Now
That's
that was
two.
a good one. That was a good one. He go against
Okay.
Drago's son. That's a really good one.
Uh-huh.
But Creed 3 is when he go against Jonathan Majors. That's his best friend from
Mm.
school. So, stuff like that, man. I like movies like that. Now, yes, is it cheesy and corny with the actual boxing? It is, because nobody's not taking that many shots to the head just straight up like that.
Yeah, Rocky always gets the piss beat out of him, and then somehow ends up
And then he
staying
comes
up.
back.
Yeah, he just just keeps taking over.
Yes.
He knows what he's doing, though. He knows what he's doing. He's gonna have major CTE later on in life. He may not
That's what
remember.
it was. So, in the Rocky was definitely showing signs of CTE throughout. So, it was about time, but that was a really good movie, and that's one of those ones that. But you'll know my number one coming up soon. But that was an epic one.
All right, yeah. Number one for me is Remember the Titans. Like I said, I played that movie to death. I don't know. I love that movie. You talk about a good soundtrack, all the old school music they have in it, like every song, the Ain't No Mountain High Enough, na 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 na
Yeah,
na na, yeah, all that, like I don't know, just always, man, it's just always a good movie, and like you can pop it on at any point in that movie, like you can join in middle, you can join in quarter of the way in, three-quarters of the way in, and you can watch it and you can
that's
experience
true.
something that's just awesome, and like you said, the quotes are just out there, like just the bond that ends up, going between Gary and Julius, and when they go to see him in the hospital, man, that gets me every time, the hospital, and can't you see the resemblance? That is my brother. All that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Like that, man, it gets you every time. That's
That,
it's
that
just
that was an epic one though. That's the one that make it you get ready to get teary eyed. Like, oh.
yes, yeah, that'll make you break down. Louis will be balling over there to the side. When somebody Warrior got him. I remember Warrior. Man, I'm telling you, when you watch Warrior, Warrior got him that. No, like I told you, when that dad goes back into the alcoholism, like it just
I
tears you.
have. I'll have to.
Louis will start just. Louis is a baby when it comes to these movies. He will start bawling. Like, it gets me tearing up, but hey, man, he will start just breaking down, man.
No.
But remember the Titans, number one, easily. It's too big of a movie for me, man. And we'll get into some honorable mentions here, but let's hear your
Okay.
number one. Let's hear your
All
number
right. So my number one is the Game Plan with Dwayne.
Oh my
I
god!
just.
Oh, I was about to say. Oh, my sister would have been very proud of you though. She freaking loves that movie. The little girl and the rock.
Yeah.
I was about to say Torres. I swear to God, bro.
That's funny.
You picked
I didn't
that.
want to hear your reaction on that one. That was funny.
Get out.
But actually, no, it's another Rocky movie, but it is Rocky 3.
Okay.
That, to me, I can watch that movie.
So is that Mr. T?
Mr. T.
Okay,
Yes,
because I know Hulk Hogan was one of them. Mr. T was one of
he
them.
was
And
in
then
that movie
Apollo
as
was one
well.
of them.
He was in that movie as well.
Okay.
That's
So
when
break this down for me. Number one, who does he go against? It's Apollo,
he
right?
goes against Apollo Creed, but the fight
Okay.
isn't a draw.
Okay. Two, it's what?
It's Apollo Creed again, the rematch, and he
That's
finally beats
right.
him. Hmm.
And is that where at the end they end up swinging and it stops right when they're about to
No,
really?
that is
That's three, ain't it?
three. That's at
That's
the end of
three.
three.
Because
Hmm.
Apollo helps train him
In the
for
third one,
Mr. T and
yes,
all right, yeah,
yes. So
yeah. There you
that one to
go.
me has
There you
the
go.
best of quote. To me, the third one is the best Rocky movie. I can watch the third one. That
See, so many people will say
debut the
four.
song "I Am the Tiger." His trainer dies in that one,
Oh
and
yeah,
Rocky
is it
lied.
Mickey?
Mickey, yes,
Yeah.
he lied to
You gotta
Mickey.
get him, Rock. You
Yeah,
gotta, you gotta do it, Rock. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. All that.
dude, and his quotes are epic. Like,
I gotta go
dude,
back and rewatch all them
oh
ASAP.
my goodness. Like for instance, Rocky 2. In Rocky 2, when like Adrian was in the sick bed. It's like, I'm not gonna fight, I'm gonna stay here with you. And she wake up and she grabbed Rocky. She's like, could you do one thing for me? And she's like, what's that? Win. And then it hits the
Yeah,
dung,
yeah,
win, dung. And Mickey's like, well, what are we waiting for? Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Like, I love that type of stuff, man. But Rocky
Uh
3
huh.
to me. So, but Rocky 3, Mr. T, obviously you see the success of Rocky growing up, coming up. He's the champion, he's defending the belt. He figures out Mick has been basically catering him, making sure he's taking favorable matchups all the way through. He's like, you don't think I can beat these guys? He's like, no, you can't beat that guy. That guy, he's too good. He's stronger. You ain't got
He'll
the
kill you,
eye
Rock.
of the tiger anymore. And obviously, he goes out there, he loses, and Mick was like, "Did you do it?" And he basically lied to Mick in his final words before he died. And I think
And
that ate.
this is the Mr. T one, right?
Yes, Rocky 3.
Yeah, Mr. T was such a good enemy, such a good villain in that one too. The trash talk was
Mm-hmm.
epic that he would give in that one.
Yep. And then Apollo Creed lends out the helping hand. And
Oh
he
yeah,
teaches Rocky.
that's cool.
And
That's
then
cool.
Rocky trains like he didn't want to be there. He's like, come on, man. He's like, tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. And I'm like, ugh. Then the running on the beach scene,
Yeah, the
bro.
beach. Yeah, with their freaking sprinting and
I know,
racing.
dude. Or the jump rope, or the dancing,
Yeah,
like stuff. I love. Those are the best. Rocky 3 to me, I can watch. Now that's a movie when it was on Netflix. Yeah, you're right.
that's why we're doing it.
I go to the
That's why
movies
we're
all
doing
the
it.
time, but Rocky
But
3,
still
I
hasn't
watch
seen
it every.
Warrior. Still hasn't seen Warrior though.
I have not. I have not. But see, I'm more into like action,
I know,
like
dude. This is
suspense.
action.
Suspense. That's not action.
Oh, it
That
is.
that's
Dude, the way Tommy throws down is action. Louis wishes you would do some Tommy stuff sometimes. You know, like Louis wishes you would go in and knock him out in 1 second and then just leave the cage. That's what Louis
yeah,
would
and
like.
let's see how real that'll be.
I know, I know.
I'll get warriored. So like that's the reason why they none of that
Uh
stuff
huh.
is. But I'll try to watch it. I'll try. I will try.
You need
I'm
to.
gonna.
And
I'm
let
gonna
me
put
know what
the
you
game
think
out.
when you watch it. Give it one good, full on from beginning to end. I promise you, it's really not that bad. And it's something you can get behind. Like you even see these high school kids that get behind the teacher that gets fired for, you know, boxing at strip clubs or fighting at strip clubs. Because the principal ends up finding out and it becomes a big ethics thing or whatever. But the kids get behind it, and the principal even starts to cheer in for it, and they watching it on TV. It's good, man. I'm telling you, you gotta watch it. It's
Oh, that
good.
sounds so freaking
It,
corny
it,
too.
it is. No, I'm telling you, it does sound corny. But dude, I've seen way cornier. Have you ever
Oh, I
seen?
know we
All right,
do.
so get into the honorable mention here, okay, and then we'll talk about some more because I could talk. That's one thing I feel like you and I both can talk about, and I think we have different tastes sometimes. Like I like to. I know you like a lot of action movies and stuff, and I do too. But I also like to go through. I have like a bucket list of movies I want to watch. And
Okay.
I'll go through and I'll watch them. Like recently, I've watched The Truman Show because I've always heard it's pretty good. I've watched The Help. Me and my wife and I watched that recently. That was good.
Okay.
I watched. I just like. It doesn't necessarily fall into a genre, but they're like critically acclaimed. Like I like to watch these movies that people say are just awesome, and I'm like, all right, so I'll watch it, see what I
Hmm.
think, and then, maybe one day I'll watch these movies with my kids or something, and we can watch them together. But um, getting to some honorable mentions here, and I'll give a few, and you can tag in, see what you think here. But the movie you were referencing earlier, where there's one movie that doesn't end in a happy ending. It is what, Torres? What movie is it?
Um,
Oh, can you even name it?
I can't.
Oh, Friday Night
Oh, Friday Night
Lights.
Lights.
That's the one at
Yeah,
least I'm thinking of, and
Friday
that's the
Night
reason I
Lights.
like it.
That's it. Friday Night Lights. That's it.
And I think it captures kind of like being a senior in high school and it's your last season, knowing that you didn't necessarily, oh, because you had a plan, but if you remember the some other guys that you probably played with, in your respective sports, whether it be wrestling or football, for me it was the soccer. After that, I wasn't going to play another freaking minute of soccer, for for any organized thing, and it's just coming to that reality. That's it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all. And there's a certain emotion, that comes along with it. I don't know if you experienced that or not. You may have had that, I guess, with with football, given, at the end of your tail end of, at UTC and stuff like that. But to me, it captures that pretty well. To me, it's just Jones County vibes, like all these guys, it's probably not to the same extent because no state championships, obviously, right now. But, I feel like there's going to be a lot of kids one day, that they're growing up. They're like, all right, you got to be like Torres Finney. You got to be like, and they'll start naming out the Andre. They'll start bringing, laying out these legends that you have to live up to, and then, it becomes a big part of their identity. These kids like, oh, I'm a football player. To me, like Booby Miles. You remember Booby Miles in that movie,
Yes, I
right? The big
definitely
running
remember
back.
Boogie Mouse. Yeah.
I'm not gonna call out names, but he reminds me of somebody in particular that we went to school with. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we can all identify, with
Yeah.
some of these characters. A tough nosed quarterback that's not afraid to do this. I don't know. Some of these guys remind me of like Davin.
Yep.
It's just
Yep.
very relatable. I don't
Yeah.
know. I just that was a good one. And then the fact
It's
that they didn't end up, winning the thing. It's just like you said. You come to this expectation with these movies that, oh, it's going to end up being okay. They'll get the last minute field goal, they'll get the last minute touchdown, and they'll happily ever after. The fact that it doesn't happen, it's just the reality of the situation. And I really like
yeah.
the Billy Bob Thornton quote. Um, there's no such thing as curses or something like that. These people get so wrapped up. These kids, they get so wrapped up and it's just not meant to be. This school's cursed or this team's cursed. This season's cursed. All this kind of stuff. There are no curses. You make your own luck. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
With the word that you put in. I don't know. Maybe I'm just taking it deeper than it needs to be, but I don't know. I very much identify with it. But what's another honorable mention for you?
There ain't gonna be many.
I got a few, man. I got some like kids ones. Some ones I really
you
loved
have to
watching
you have
growing
to
up.
name some because like for me, like I
I'll
said,
name a couple more. I'll name a couple more. Then.
name a couple more because like
All
besides
right.
the main genres like Friday Night Lights, Remember the Titans, Blindside, like the main ones. Um, I did see 42, 42 Jackie
See, I
Robinson.
haven't watched that whole one yet. I need to go
So
back and watch that.
that's a good one. That's a really good one. Obviously with the historical references in it, but that's a good one. But besides
There's
that,
one you're missing. There's one you're missing right now that I feel like you liked a lot growing up. Space Jam. Come on now.
is that a sports movie?
I'm counting that as a
All
sports
right,
movie.
well
Freaking
then,
Michael
yeah,
Jordan
well then,
playing basketball
if we
extends his
include
arm
Space
out.
Jam, well, Space Jam's probably gonna. Who did I have? I'm at 12. Remember the Titans, Space Jam, because
Oh,
I love Space Jam.
Space Jam. Yeah, I definitely count that as a sports movie,
I
man. Like,
love Space
dude,
Jam.
that's all about, I mean, of course it's a kids movie, but for the most part, but I mean, shoot, I'll still watch that. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a good one. Basketball related, Michael Jordan, I count that as a sports movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mighty Ducks 2, specifically
Mm.
2. Have you seen Mighty Ducks
I've
2?
seen Mighty Ducks. I don't remember two, but I remember
Mighty
seeing
Ducks,
like
the original one, wasn't all that great if you watched it. So you got Emilio Estevez, who's like a lawyer. He ends up getting in a DUI, and then instead of doing jail time, they make him coach a kids hockey team, and it's decent. But Mighty Ducks 2 takes it a step further. Emilio Estevez has to coach the U.S. U8 U16 team or whatever. So he coaches kids from all over the country, and you end up seeing a bunch of different kids from all over. They all have different skills that they bring to it. You got these two hard-nosed guys, the Bash brothers, and they come in and just fight and they hit people. Then you got a kid that's really good. He's fast, but he just can't stop, and they have to teach him how to do that. You got like a girl goalie and a guy goalie defend, trying to win the spot. You got all these personalities, and then they even go and get Keenan Thompson, the kid from Keenan and Kel and
Yeah, yeah,
SNL
yeah.
and all that. His name was Tyler, and he had and of course I love that, and he had a move called the knuckle puck, and he'd flip the puck up and he'd pop it, and it would just start spinning, and it would do like a knuckleball, and it would go in the net. I don't know, I love that one. That one was a good movie to me. That was another one we wore that thing out, son. Like back when
I
that
just,
was on VHS. We used to have a little portable VHS thing in the car for trips. Shoot, we wore that sucker out. We loved that movie,
yeah.
bro. My
All
sister and
right.
I.
For Mighty Ducks too. All right, all right.
You got to yeah, you got to check it out. It's by no means is this going to be a Oscar winning performance, but it is a fun watch. That one was good, man.
All right. I'm gonna check that out too. All right.
Karate Kid. I'm always big on Karate Kid. The original,
Karate
of
Kid.
course.
If you want to
Right.
call that a sports movie, then yeah.
I think so. Why not? Why not? This is all
I
it's
don't think those would be
competing.
rated as sports movies. I don't think
I
Karate
think
Kid.
so. Look it up. Is Karate Kid a sports movie? Go ahead and type it in.
I'm gonna
I
look
want to
that
see.
up, man. I'm gonna look that up, buddy. Because
And
I don't know. Mm.
Dodgeball with with Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller and them. That to me, that was that. I quote that one all the time. The Dodgeball. I love Dodgeball.
Dodgeball, yeah, that's a classic
Freaking
one.
love
That's a classic,
Dodgeball.
yeah.
And that's a sports movie. That's a sport. If they have a sport in it, if that's the main premise of the movie, shoot, why not count it as a sport? Martial arts. You should respect it, Torres. Mixed martial arts. Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Is Karate
I
Kid
mean,
a sports movie?
I'm looking. I mean, there's a lot of people that are like back and forth on it. Because it's not no definitive answer.
Oh my God, that is a sports movie, man. Yes, the Karate Kid. AI just said it. Yes, the Karate Kid is generally considered a sports movie as it centers around a protagonist training in martial arts to compete in a karate
I
tournament.
don't think that's dude.
Hush.
I don't
Shut
think
your mouth.
I
We're
don't
not
think
ruining
that's
this.
considered a sports movie.
It is, man. That is definitely, dude. We're going to throw. You're going to ask some people. Matter of fact, let's throw it in the chat for Jackson and Kobe and them.
I would like to see it. I would like to.
Is Karate Kid a sports movie? That's what I'm about to ask.
That's interesting. Hmm.
It to me, it definitely is.
Maybe so then. I mean, yes, it's a martial art, but like I would have never thought Karate Kid be considered one like that.
And last one for me, I think this will be my last one. Because I love Dodgeball. I just said that one. That one I'll quote. I freaking love it. It's awesome,
Mhm.
funny, hilarious, just great watch. But Facing the Giants, you remember that one? The Christian movie. It was filmed in Georgia. Oh my God, Torres. The one where the kid does the death crawl, where the guy has to put the kid on his back and do like bear crawl.
Let me see.
You're
All right.
telling me you ain't seen that, Torres Finney?
Let me
Preacher
see.
Man, Torres Finney,
Let
you
me
ain't seen
see.
that Christian football movie, bro.
I'll probably have and just have no.
Yo, if you have
I'll be
not,
honest with you. A lot of these sports movies just all just in one big ball to me.
you need to
Sometimes.
watch that.
Let me see. Let me see. No, I have not seen that one, brother. I have not seen it.
Whoa, dude, you need to check that out. You need to check that out. I'm not gonna sit here and hype it up like it because it's a low budget film. Like it was made in Georgia. And it's a Christian movie. Like a lot of Christian values in it.
Mhm.
It's got some funny stuff. It's got some serious stuff. But man, that'll get you. Like that one will get you. Like Mark Richt makes an appearance. That was like a big deal in it.
Mm.
Like it's a dude.
Especially 2006.
I cannot believe that you have not seen that. That is
Mm.
wild to me, man. That is so wild. I thought that would have been like a thing you had to watch. Do you remember last thing before I ask if you have any other honorable mentions? Do you remember that movie? I don't know if you were. It may have been the year before you were up at the high school, but remember when we watched this movie at the high school? All the football players we got together, and it was a movie about some guy. God, I cannot remember it, but it was about some like college player that got into like a drunk car accident or something like that. I don't know.
I don't remember that movie.
I don't know. We all got together. I remember the whole football team did. It was back when Coach Dwight Jones was still there. Still there. We did it.
Hmm.
Oh, it was a Wake Forest player. Football movie. I don't know. I remember we all got together and watched it. It was back when they were doing the hold the rope. The fifth quarter. You remember that? It's called the fifth quarter.
Fifth quarter. I don't remember that.
Well, I don't know. We all got together. You may have.
We probably did, and I probably fell asleep during the movie.
You may have. You may have. You gotta watch Facing the Giants though. Do you have any other honorable mentions?
Uh, Not really, man. Like, not really. I have to go back and like do some thinking on a lot of these sports movies because like I said, like a lot of them didn't hit me the way that Rocky hit me or Creed hit me. I didn't feel that like emotion invested necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
But I did watch them. You know, like I said, I did watch.
Yeah.
Like I said, Blindside didn't hit me, but it was good. You know,
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Remember the Titans didn't hit me, but it was good. But that's just I have to do. I don't know. I think whenever somebody comes out with that movie where I can just relate, not necessarily say relate, but can understand the realism throughout the movie. But okay, that's an actual sports movie.
Did you
All
watch
the
Friday
way
Night
through.
Lights? Have you watched it all the way through before?
Yeah, I've watched Friday Night Lights. Yes, I definitely remember Friday Night Lights.
Right.
Yeah, I
So
just
your homework between now and next week.
he said, "Yo, Warrior,
Warrior and Facing the Giants.
Giants,
Facing the Giants. Facing the Giants will hit you a little different because it's like a low level high school team, like low division, and it's not all the way realistic because they end up going against a team that's got a bunch of subs and they don't really have a bunch of players on the roster. So obviously the classification thing's not going to be legit. But so before you go ahead and pick that one out, before you pick that one apart, think about that. And this was made by a church in Georgia, and I remember it got to be a pretty big deal. But when they do that death crawl, when you see it, it's called the death crawl. When they do that, boy, that's gonna get you right there. That part always gets you. You're going to end up seeing it. Because it's really good. Like he's pushing his best player to go beyond what he's done before, and it's oh my god, dude, it's going. I'm going to send you the clip. Here,
Yes, please send me the clip. Please send me that clip. I definitely got.
Look at this. Disappointed you haven't seen that one yet.
I haven't seen Face the Giant. Look, I can't.
You will probably like it. I'm being for real because of how serious you are, in your faith and everything. I feel like you'll like it.
Yes,
I
have
do.
to. I have to probably try to check it out. It's hard for me.
It's not like a real because how sometimes Christian movies will be like, I don't know if I really want to get crying mood today. I don't know if I want to. But that one, it's like a different type. It's because it's sports still. So I don't know. It's not as serious. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check that out.
Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Check that out. Sorry,
yeah,
Laura, I can't watch some of these sports movies. I don't get the tear jerking in it with me for those. I tear jerk when I see Tony Stark die. That's when tears start falling out my eyes.
Yeah,
like, oh!
that got me. That got me too. But yeah, man. Anything else you want to cover before we break it down?
Nah, man. Also, Tennessee basketball in Alabama. That game was epic. I mean, look, bro, looking at SEC right now, it's my movie to pump me up for FCA camp every year. So yeah, see,
when you do your FCA stuff, I feel like that one's a good one to watch.
I'm gonna have to try to watch it.
She's right on that.
Watch it.
Oh yeah, because they end up getting the whole school saved and stuff because of what the football team starts doing. Like it's cool. Like they end up praying with everybody and.
But then I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, you'll like it. I promise you'll like it.
I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm gonna have to watch it during the day. I can't watch it at night because, like I said, sports movie. I'll wake up. It's over with. Thank you, oh Lord.
Warrior's a nighttime watch. Facing the Giants, it could be a daytime watch.
Okay.
Warrior's like a man. I'm telling you, you're sleeping on Warrior. You're sleeping on it.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, the prayer wall. That's it. Laura's on it, man. She's on it. She knows. Exactly.
Yeah, she's the head director at UTC for the FCA. So it's I definitely got to.
She's on it.
I gotta check that out. I definitely check that out. But the SEC for this year, you have good Lord, I just was clicked on it. Freaking touched.
They're going off like big. SEC basketball is crazy this year.
Yes, SEC basketball.
Zach just texted back. Karate Kid, being a sports movie, he said yes to a degree. Jackson said, I guess.
So we got guys on the fence on that movie. Lord, do you think the Karate Kid is a sports movie? I never ever watched the Karate Kid with that intentions. That's
the other one, oh my God, I meant to bring it up. There's a wrestling movie. Oh my God. You know what I'm talking about? There's one that's about wrestling. There's not many wrestling movies out there. Oh my God.
The Foxcatcher.
No, not that one. Not that one.
That's a good one though.
I don't know that one.
The Foxcatcher. I forget about the Foxcatcher. That's so true.
It's called Vision Quest.
Oh, so look.
It's like a 1980s movie. I bet you somebody brought that up to you.
A bunch of people have, because my coaches brought that up to me. He's like, "You ain't seen Vision Quest?" No, I have not. She ain't seen Karate Kid all the way through, so then it's like,
Man, it's good. It's good.
I don't know, but I have heard Vision Quest.
Wax off.
I have heard about Vision Quest, so
it's not amazing. It's not amazing. There's one good part, man. Like there's one really good, because you know how you talk about it, like those speeches, those quotes that get you. There's this guy that lives in this hotel that he talks with, and he talks about how he watched Pele. That one got me. That one got me. Like it just I don't know, man. Something the way he delivered the quote and the seriousness of the moment and stuff. Like it was. I don't know, that every now and then, you know how those ones they'll just really hit you, like you said, those moments. That one hit me. I'm not gonna lie. The movie itself was it was very 80s, very very 80s, and I think it was the first movie that Madonna was in. Yeah, like yeah, they paid money to get her on, and she blew up from there, so it kind of helped the movie out. So, but it was it was cheesy, but it was good. You might just because you being wrestling, you might want to watch it one day.
Yeah, I have to see.
Foxcatcher. I haven't heard of
Foxcatcher's good though. It has Steve Carell in it. I thought Foxcatcher was good.
Steve Carell.
Yeah. He kills his son. I'm not kills his son. Kills the wrestler that was the best wrestler on the team. It was a good story.
Oh,
good story.
wow.
Good story. Good story. Shoots him.
Wow.
And it's based off a true story. It's based off a true story as well. So.
Wow. But yeah, SEC basketball. What you were saying about it?
But yeah, based off the SEC basketball, you had Auburn. I mean, you got Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, Missouri, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, Kentucky. Like we're looking at Kentucky right now. They're 19-10 with an 8-8 record in the SEC. It is very rare that you see the SEC be this stacked. I can't wait to see the SEC tournament.
Just beat Florida too.
Georgia did just beat Florida, and all of these teams, a lot of these teams are ranked. So, I'm really excited to see what's next. I mean, like you said, Tennessee, huge win against Alabama.
That's a great game.
Man,
Auburn's look legit. Auburn's look very good.
Auburn looks really good. Duke's look really good as well. I know Duke ACC obviously, but Duke's look good as well. Cooper Flag has been showing out, man. I'm excited to see what he got coming up. So
yeah, but man, that was pretty good. Different little topic for today, but
it is.
We might have to pull it out.
We'll definitely be a lot more active, with March Madness and NBA playoffs getting ready to start up. So
for real. But yeah, thank y'all all for for those of y'all that interacted with the show today. Laura and Kobe, all you guys. Thank you for all of y'all that tuned in. Hey, get at us if you don't agree with any of the sports movie. Let us know. Let us know what you don't agree with, what you do agree with, why, all that kind of stuff. It's just a fun little topic to bring up. So thank you to all of y'all that tuned in to the live stream. Thank you out there for those of y'all that are listening to this on podcast form on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere our podcasts are located. Continue to show support by subscribing, following, liking, sharing, all that good stuff. We do appreciate it. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Boom boom.